And good morning, Hoosier Nation, and welcome to another victorious edition of Hoosier Morning After. This is Hoosier Morning After Maryland. Last night, your Indiana Hoosiers go on to defeat Maryland Turtles 68-55. In a game that had us all a little slightly nervous at the beginning, with Maryland going on an 8-0 run to begin the game, but then IU finds the gas pedal and floors it and doesn't look back since. Just a fantastic defensive outing by the Hoosiers. Great shutdown defense, holding them to a not so great shooting percentage as we continue to build this team and this kind of structure of a team, and hanging our hats, I should say, fits more ineptly on our defense. Limiting to Maryland to 28% from the field and 22% from 3-point on the game. Just took care of business. It did, and maybe this is a habit that we have to break as fans, because I was definitely feeling that way a little bit myself, but a little bit lackluster towards the end of the game. Felt like Maryland was going to make a run and get it close. Didn't feel like we had hit the gas enough and really put our foot on the throats of them and just finish the game. But yet, with 4 minutes left, we had our largest lead of 18. So that speaks to maybe some weird psychological aspects that we have as Indiana fans. And then also, I guess it's just a microcosm of how we're now conditioned from the recent past and the traumas of the recent past of these basketball seasons and what Indiana has shown us, the inconsistencies and the inability in the past to finish games. We're always kind of dreading that sudden comeback by the other team, that we're gonna lose it. We're not gonna finish it off. But good job for the guys today to keep their foot on the gas and finish this game off in a good way, and allowed some great things to happen in this game. Obviously, the biggest story going into this game was what Rob was going to be able to do, how Rob was feeling, and I don't know if I am concerned that it turns out it's plantar fasciitis. Googled that. I asked a lot of you guys on Twitter. A lot of you guys chimed in on that. Thank you for your experiences with it. From what I've seen and what I've read and what you've told me, it could be a tough road for Rob. Sounds like it's an injury or a type of thing that can get good with time. You can do a little bit of different therapy things, stretching it out, but rest overall, dry needling. Even my wife has had shoulder issues in the past, and she's done some dry needling that has really helped her. So obviously I trust Timmy G and all the health staff there at IU to be doing the best things for him. And it was good. Well, it was tough to see him in the boot and have the little cart to get around. That is the best for him, to get his feet, stay off his feet, put as little pressure on it as he can, and just rest it. That's the best thing he can do for himself right now. So hopefully he gets going, and want him to get back to his full health before he tries to get out there. I don't want him to push it too soon. So anyway, so that was obviously the biggest question going into this game, was who was going to step up, who was going to take those minutes. And then obviously as well, something that's been the biggest storyline going into it was what's Lander going to do? How many minutes is Lander going to get? And what's he going to do with those minutes? And so it was kind of a multiple answer. If you remember at school, those multiple choice questions where you had, in this regards, the question would be, what do you do with Rob Phinissee's minutes? Answer A is Christian Lander gets the minutes and gets some play time and some experience. Answer B is Trey Galloway gets a few of those minutes and levels up his game just a slight bit more. And answer C would be X continues his upward tick as well and continues to lead the team and do great things. And D would be all of the above. Well, I choose D, all of the above. I think all three of those guys stepped up and kind of shouldered those extra minutes left on the stat sheet by Rob's absence and did a great job with them, each contributing in their own way. Dylan, you tweeted on Twitter at me asking, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the return of number 4. I want nothing but the best for Christian Lander, and I think today is a step in the good direction, but it still felt like a mixed bag. And Dylan, I think you're right there. I think that's a great way to say it, a mixed bag. He struggled a little bit in the first half, but had a better second half. He finished with 1 assist, 1 turnover, 5 points, 1 for 2 for field goals, 1 for 3 from 3-point. Had that great entry pass to Trace Jackson Davis. He put him in the perfect direction, perfect place, perfectly passed that Trace Jackson Davis was able to continue to turn while he received that pass, and he was right there at the basket, immediately go up and score that point. That was his 1 assist, and that was great. And we know he has that. That's in his quiver. It's in his basketball IQ, his experiences as a player. Where it has always been the question is his defense, and it did struggle. I mean, he ended with four fouls. Some of them were ticky-tacky. Some of them could be questionable. I mean, I don't want to get off on a tangent too much on the reffing, trying to talk about Christian here, but those are those mental lapses that he has right now, and I'm happy about that because those are good things that can get cleaned up. Those are great things for an experienced coach like Woody to be able to help him learn on. Those are things he gets over rather than having to teach the physical and the basketball IQ stuff on the offensive side, which he has and he has in spades. He's very good at just to teach him more of the lock-in stuff and the mental things of how to play physical on defense, how to get at it, but hold yourself back from doing that extra little thing, being tempted to reach in that hand and get that foul. Those things will come, and he's got 2 fantastic mentors to help him with that as well, in X and Rob. So happy with what he was able to show us. Great with the confidence. We saw this in the post game as well. He did a great little interview there with the press, and Trace Jackson Davis comes over and puts his arm around him. So the whole team's behind him and wants him to succeed, and the confidence hopefully continues to build for him and everything. And he's going to get coached up right. I mean, it was good coverage by the TV guys that when he did commit one of his fouls, they followed him over to the bench, and you saw immediately Woody right in there. Teachable moment, talking to him about it, where his hands were and everything, and what he needed to clean up. And that's great. That's great to see. That's those are the great moments that you learn stuff from and you move on from. So good to see him get those minutes in. This is a build towards the right way. This was a proper game to be able to do it in, because I hate to can't really say it for sure, but Maryland should have been a win, and it was a win. So nothing's always guaranteed in college basketball, and obviously, as we've seen, other teams have had hiccups and everything against teams that they should have beat. But a good time to get some meaningful minutes, and 10 minutes is what he finishes with overall. Xavier Johnson, just fantastic. Continues to build on his games. Continues to do some fantastic things for this team. And while we did again have that little quorum of just him playing out of control and with a little bit too much emotion and too much aggravation, he's played within himself and played a great game against all the adversity that he's run into, and obviously this game as well. is a good emotional one for him as well, because he's close to home and he had family there and everything. And Indiana put out that great video, excuse me, at the end where he went out to his family, giving everyone hugs and stuff. And you saw it was a really big, long, strong embrace with his mother. And he's got a big connection to family. And he even stated recently that he attributes his recent success to his family, helping settle him, coming in and visiting and everything like that. So he's getting his headspace right. He's getting his mind right. And that is translating onto the court. In the first half, he had 7 assists and 0 turnovers, and also 0 fouls. 2 zeros and a 7, 007. James Bond in the first half from Xavier Johnson, and only 4 points. Finished with 9 assists and 2 turnovers and just 1 foul. So just played fantastically within the game. Did exactly what we need him to do as a point guard. Gosh, where would we be without him? Just think about that. Where would we be without him? So love what he's contributing, love what he's doing for this team, and let's stay healthy. Let's stay good. Let's keep this space. Let's keep this mentality, keep this momentum going, X. You're doing a great job, buddy. And let's also speak of those 2 attempted dunks. They didn't go in because he got fouled on them. But I love that he went with anger, and I love that he went with aggression to the basket like that and just assaulted those rims. That was great to see. I really like that a lot. Race Thompson gets a double-double. I don't know how many he's had on the season yet. I don't think many. We'll have to look back and see. But finished with, finished with 18 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, 1 turnover. So great game for him. Really stepped it up in the first half of the first little half of the second half. It's weird to say, but first 10 minutes or so of the second half, he had 11 points and 8 rebounds. So that was really a time where he stepped up into the game and got aggressive. He was in the positions that he needed to be in when he needed to be there. Just when the focus was on Trace, he was able to get in there and do things that he needed to do to get to the basket. Had some great turnarounds and finished with that 3-point shot that we see. Finished with 2 for 2 from 3, so nails 2 3-pointers on it. And that shot of his looks so nice. His form is great. Gets a good high arc on that ball. One of the best trajectories I see on a ball for this team. And it just continues to show that we have, as a fan base, we are quick to kind of react to each game and try to attribute how we think things should go moving forward, whether people should stop shooting, that kind of thing. And we were saying that for Race. And while we all know, we saw in his high school, that was an arrow in his quiver that he had when he played in high school, and he just kind of got away from it in college, be it a system that kind of didn't let him. Obviously, again, when we were in the last system, so many players were handcuffed. And Coach Tony Adranya, I think, did a great video. You can see talking about this in the frame of reference of Trace Jackson Davis and his new shot blocking. And the shot blocking that he's been doing is why he was recently named to that Defensive Player of the Year watch list, because all the blocks he's gotten this year. I mean, the team in this game ends with 6 blocks. And there were 5 guys that got those blocks. So it's mixed around. So that freedom on defense for allowing guys to get over is what has done that for blocks. Well, that is also the freedom on the offensive side, which has allowed Race Thompson to shoot the 3-pointer. And it's the confidence that Woody has shown in these players and in this team, and the forethought that he has to let them play through a little bit of those struggles of that. While we get aggravated as fan base at those struggles in the moment and everything, Woody is big braining us, and he sees that it's still there and it will come for them. Now, that's not to mean that Race is now a knockdown 3-point shooter and he's going to hit every single one. He should still be selective with his shot, but he should not be scared to take that shot. And I think it's a point that Woody is making, that they aren't scared to take that shot. Race, in his post-game interviews, said multiple times confidence, that it's the confidence that the coaching staff has in them. It's the confidence that the coaching staff is instilling in them. Confidence is a two-way street in that sense. We talk about these players needing to have the confidence, but this coaching staff has enormous confidence in these players and their skills and what they can do, and is allowing them to show that. And we're seeing that big time as this team continues to grow and do better in each game as we go. A lot of the inconsistencies are starting to taper off. I mean, step back 2 months or so from now, turnovers were the biggest thing we were talking about. We were talking about if they get over this amount, then the players are running. If they get under this amount, then the coaches are running, kind of thing. That really hasn't necessarily been the talking point or the main focus much anymore. So it's great to see that. 3-point shooting has gotten a lot better. We just ended 30% in this game. First half kind of was what killed that a little bit. We were 11%. We were 45% in the second half. But things are getting better. Things have slowly improved. Now, we've been doing that in ideal situations for the most part, being at home, this road game against a team that is towards the bottom of the Big Ten. So where we're going to see it next now is we've got a tough bit of the schedule coming up. I don't want to get too into that now because that's more talk for the end of the show, but great to see the growth that we have as a team moving forward right now. Trey Jackson-Davis, just want to speak about a few more players before we get wrapped up. But Trey Jackson-Davis, pretty standard TJD game, 17 points, 1 rebound shy of a double-double with 9, 3 assists, just 2 turnovers. Felt like he had one of those games where he didn't fear the big guys he was up against. Maryland doesn't really have the marquee big guys that you would see in other teams that we're definitely going to see next weekend. But he used his speed and his quickness to get around the big guys. Great spin moves, great moves to the basket. Missed a few little bunnies that he should have put in, but happy to see that aggressiveness and that intensity in a game like this, and just continues to be a force underneath on the defensive side. I mean, getting just one block, but he was in there trying to get other blocks and altered a lot of shots because he is that threat of block. When you are a shot blocker and you're a team that's known to be a shot blocker, you can have a game where you're not being able to block as many shots as you normally would, but that threat and that idea that is something that you do as a team is in the mind of the opponents, and they are going to alter their shots or be maybe a little more hesitant when they go to the basket, and that helps for a lot more misses. And that attributes a lot to the poor shooting we've seen from our opponents in these games. The other person, obviously, that I spoke of before when I said stepping up and taking up Rob's missing minutes is Trey. Trey continues to build. Finished with 8 points. Was 4 for 5 from the field, 2 assists, no turnovers, and 2 great dunks. Showing off his athleticism in this one. Getting out on the break. Had that one great break with Xavier Johnson, where he had a perfect little kind of dump pass behind his right shoulder to Trey, who was following with him. One of his great dunks as well, you kind of thought that he was going to lob it up to Trace Jackson Davis. There was kind of a 2-on-1 situation, and the threat of Trace Jackson Davis kind of led that Maryland defender to kind of back up a little bit and body on Trace Jackson Davis. And Trey, with the beautiful basketball mind that he has, great IQ on that kid, saw that hesitation and took it and just stuffed it in the rim. So excited for the future of him. I mean, so excited for the present of him, but just excited for the future. He's going to be a main focal point for this team moving forward. So very excited to what he's giving to us. Took a three and missed it on this one. Happy that he got a 3-point shot. I want him to get at least one 3-point shot each game. Just continue to build the confidence with that shot, because he is such a downhill guy and to get to the basket. If he can expand that part of his game, and he will, that will just open things up and continue to be such a force, as he is on both sides of the court. Great on defense as well. Just stays with his man and everything like that. Team had really good lockdown defense. The first half was a little concerned with some of the overhelping that we had. That's still, I think, the little bit of the Achilles heel and the aggravation that I have with sometimes with the way we play our defense is tend to overhelp, and that leaves guys open for three, and has bit us in the butt many times. But I think we kind of nipped that pretty quickly in this game. There were a couple plays where we overhelped and was getting ready to fire up on Twitter about it, but then we kind of cleaned it up and it wasn't an issue moving forward. Maryland just kind of grasping at straws towards the end of this game. Really, everyone on their team was just really trying to play hero ball, and IU did a good job staying in front of their men for the most part, and not allowing a lot of drives and kicks and stuff that like Penn State would try to do on us. Was really a non-factor for everyone. The blocks, talked about the blocks that we had. We had 6 steals as well. Again, just a good performance. Road win. First win there that we've ever gotten at Maryland since Maryland's been a part of the Big Ten. And now things get tougher, guys. Very happy that the team has a week off. So that's a positive to think about. Get a week to get everyone kind of fully healthy again. I know Christian Lander, like they said, was a little banged up with his knee or something, and felt good, and he played during this game. So he's got a week to kind of rehab that, get some more practice time in, get some things going, because Saturday, February 5th, 12 o'clock, Illinois, Indiana at Indiana. It's going to be a tough game. Going to be a tough game. We got to see Trace Jackson Davis has to come out and play really well in this game. He has struggled before against Coburn, and this is the kind of typical big man that he struggles with overall. We will probably see some minutes from Michael Durr, hopefully. That's kind of been a puzzling thing recently. I don't know why we haven't seen Michael Durr in there. They didn't push him on the press conference to talk about that. Hopefully, maybe it's brought up in the coaches show tomorrow night. Would really like to know what's going on, because last we heard was that was a coach's decision. So, yeah, I don't know why we didn't see just a few minutes from him there. So something's up there. Something's up there. Not gonna spend too much time trying to think of it, because obviously I'm just going to be grasping at straws. We haven't heard anything, seen anything in particular that's leading up to that. But very excited for this game. Going to be in attendance at the game. Going to be going to the Assembly Call meetup afterwards. So excited to get out there, finally get back to Bloomington. I haven't been into Bloomington for a long time. So excited to be back there. It was really strange to book a hotel in Bloomington, growing up there and everything. Never really had to have a hotel room in Bloomington, but very excited. I'll be getting in on Friday, and then I'll probably go out and about Friday night. We'll obviously be at the game, and then at the Assembly Call meetup afterwards, and then probably out again on Saturday night. It's going to be cold, guys. I've got Southern blood now. I've lived in the South way too long. I saw -1 as the low on Friday. Whew, it's going to be tough for me. I'll tell you what. But anyways, I'll be there. I have, again, the Hoosier Morning After stickers. Got a big stack of them. If you see me out and about, say hey to me. Come up. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. Appreciate you guys listening and everything like that. So would love to meet you. Love to say hey. Ask me for a sticker. I got plenty of them. Love to give them out to you guys and everything. So, yep, that's going to do it on this edition of Hoosier Morning After. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Remember to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to go over to Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at General Chadwick. There you can find out more information about the show, when we're going to go live, and ask questions, comments, and stuff that I will promise to bring up, as long as they're appropriate enough, on the show. Dylan, shout out to you. Thank you for commenting, bringing you up again. Special thanks, as always, to Bob Thompson for producing the music you hear on the show. I'll be back again through the morning after the show. I think Jared Morris might join me for that one, guys, after the Illinois show. But thanks for joining me, guys. As always, go out there, have a wonderful day, and go Hoosiers.